Welcome in here, race fans. Tonight, it's Sunday night, and we go racing with the All-Pro Sim Racing League. It's the 87 Shootout Series presented by Decals by Dylan. Welcome in here, race fans, to the Martinsville Speedway. To bring you all the action tonight, it's Muth up here in the booth. Alongside me, we have a very special guest here tonight. It is none other than KR Stolfus. KR, welcome to Sunday Night Racing. It is the 87 Series. I hope you're ready for the old school rules with NASCAR when it was, well, at the top of the charts.
Man, I'll tell you what, I am excited to be here, Roger. Thank you very much for allowing me to come in, talk some racing. Anytime I get to do that, it is a good time, let alone throw back to the heyday of NASCAR and also on a short track. Man, this is on my bucket list.
Yeah, Martinsville, one of those speedways that everybody kind of looks at on the schedule, and they say, man, I really like to go there to watch. A lot of these drivers here tonight, as our qualifying session does open up, a lot of them have been kind of like, I'm not sure how it's really going to play out, but let's take a look and see which one of these drivers is first out onto the track. There you see Jackie Palmer in the 82. For all you race fans keeping score here tonight on the timing and scoring, he'll be 82 on the timing and scoring, but it'll be 34 on the side of this black and gold number 34 Chevrolet. He'll be the first one onto the track here tonight. Let's take a quick look and see where he will come across the starting line here to complete his first lap of qualifying. It is a 21.33 second time out of 2. He is currently our pole setter here tonight.
The 22 of Jeff Shrewsbury right now, he's second quick in that Busch machine. A nice little paint scheme on that one, Roger. Probably something you like to have seen.
Yeah, it's something that we like to keep in stock here in the studio. And right now, Shrewsbury in this Busch. Number 22, he'll go second lap a little bit quicker. He'll be the new quick time here tonight, but not for very long. The man, well, in the 52, Dillon Motorsports entry, Jeff Dillon, he goes to the top of the leaderboards real quick, just like that. We'll see if he can turn a quicker lap here on lap number 2. Zach Coyer, with no practice, he turns in his qualifying lap. But let's watch Dillon here right up against the outside fence. And it will be quicker yet for Dillon on lap number 2. Jeff Dillon, 21.04. 2-second lap on lap number 2. And now we look back out onto the speedway. It looks like Tim Richmond made an appearance here. The 53 of Carl Burke in the Folgers Chevrolet.
Carl Burke is out on the speedway in that red Folgers machine. We do have a new driver at the top of the leaderboard, though, the 33 of David Pullins. Right now, that chrome car setting up fast time, blinding speed, blinding paint job.
Yeah, Pullins right now with his Napa machine. He is quickest, and he is officially done with his qualifying times for the time being. Everybody else is chasing him. One driver that does not have a time in, it's the row 6, number 3 Chevrolet here of Tyler Hughes. Hughes comes in, if I remember right, just a little bit back in our championship hunt. He comes into the night running 6th with just tonight and next Sunday night left in this season. Dillon and Pullins are tied actually at the top of the leaderboards here tonight, and they are tied coming into the championship hunt, deadlocked at the top. The only advantage right now that Jeff Dillon has is one more lap completed than David Pullins and one more win. Actually, 2 more wins. I read that wrong. 2 more wins than Jeff Dillon. But there you go. Hughes, third quickest on the board. It looks like James Somke in the number 1 carbon fiber entry. He is now out on the speedway.
That carbon fiber machine out on the track. This half-mile Martinsville paperclip. A very tricky track because you try and rock it down the straightaway, jam on the brakes, get the car turned, and do it again. But these guys are going to have to figure it out. And these 87 cars, as James is going to jump up to 9th place.
So 9th quickest on lap number 1. Yeah, KR, you hit it right on top of the head. Long straightaways here at Martinsville. And then these concrete corners, they are a paperclip. They are where you will see a lot of drivers really get into each other. Bumper tag is going to be something we see all night long. Somke come across the line a little bit slower on lap number 2. So lap 1, the fastest for the driver of the number 1. The decals by Dillon, though, 26 is out onto the speedway. 4th quickest on lap number 1. We'll see if Kevin Dillon can come out of this paperclip turns 3 and 4 and work his way onto possibly a top 3 starting spot. And it's going to be quicker, and he'll actually move himself into the 3rd quickest time on the board right now. So Kevin Dillon right behind Jeff. The cousins that they are right now are running 2 and 3 onto the speed charts, chasing the Napa Know-How machine, the David Poland's entry. Now it looks like Christopher Reardon. Brand new paint scheme on this machine, and he is out here onto the speedway.
The 6 machine, he makes his way onto the backstretch, already looking for some extra speed, trying to get this track, widen it out as much as you can, arc that corner a little bit there, going through 3 and 4 to have that long straightaway into 1 and 2.
First lap for Reardon going to be a 22.06 second lap. That's good enough for the 13th position out of the 13 qualifiers so far. We have Stephen Wright and Matt Vade down there who have yet to turn a qualifying attempt here tonight. Looks like they will not be able to, as I believe Reardon will be the final driver onto the speedway, and he'll go quicker on lap number 2 with a 21.63 second lap. It's good enough for the 12th quickest time here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. Race fans, while we have a second here, though, we got to thank all of you for tuning in here tonight to the Turn 3 Racing Network to watch all this great racing action here for the All-Pro Sim Racing League. It's the 87 Shootout Series presented by Decals by Dylan right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with Muth and Stolfist here tonight, bringing you the calls, bringing you the action from this Martinsville Speedway. We'll really enjoy having everybody here. But as we have a second, KR, what do you say we step away for just a moment here at the Martinsville Speedway, and we will be right back here. We're just in time for these boys to start to grit them up here tonight for the second to last race of the season.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We're getting ready for some racing here at Martinsville Speedway. Check out the view on top of our office trailer. The stands are packed. We just got done with the national anthem. The fire is about to begin. Check out the fire.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Martinsville Speedway. Qualifying still underway as all these drivers are in a driver's meeting right now. And as they're in the driver's meeting, let's take this time to take a quick gander at the point standing situation coming into tonight. Tonight is Martinsville with just Martinsville and Watkins Glen, two of the toughest tracks onto the iRacing.com platform. We'll take a quick look here and tell you who's got what going forward. Right now, sitting deadlocked at the top of our charts, not only here in our qualifying session, we'll pop that back up for all you race fans to see where your drivers are running right now, but Jeff Dillon and David Poland's are tied at the top of your championship hunt, deadlocked at 157 points. Then they got a 25-point little bit of a cushion over to the next driver, who is third in our standings. That is Zach Coyer. Coyer comes in. He doesn't have a win on the season. He has actually the most top 10s out of those top 3 drivers, but no poles, no wins is really hurting that bonus point category sorts of things And that's what's keeping Coyer a little bit farther behind in this championship hunt. Right now, Coyer is sitting third in that championship hunt, 25 points back. Fourth into the point standings, 31 points out of the championship lead. That is Michael Favert. He is sitting there in fourth. Kevin Dillon, who has, well, 2 wins to his name, but it seems as of late, that number 26 has been struggling onto the speedway. He finds himself 5th in this championship hunt, just outside the top 5. Sitting there 48 points behind the championship duo that right now have the stranglehold on top. That is Tyler Hughes. He comes in, he has 1 top 5, correction, got to read it right. 6 top 10s, no poles. So far this season, he is 6th. Jackie Palmer is sitting there 7th. James Somke is 8th in that championship hunt. Carl Burke is 9th. And Mark Favert right now rounds out the top 10 as we are getting ready here. Qualifying just about to be over. But KR, a lot of these times are really close at the top of this board. Good racing to come here tonight at Martinsville.
Oh, yeah. I was looking at these times myself, and our top 4 are all separated by less than 1/10 of a second. That is pretty darn close up there at the top of the leaderboard for qualifying. But Roger, qualifying done and over with. It's time to get busy.
Yeah, it is time to take to the grid here tonight at Martinsville. Let's take you through that starting lineup. Starting lineup here tonight brought to us by Decals by Dylan. This is your starting lineup here at Martinsville. Starting on the front row, driving the number 33, this is David Polans. Starting right on the outside row of number 1, it is going to be the number 52. That is Jeff Dillon, your 2 championship top runners tonight, starting 1 and 2. Starting third here tonight, driver of the number 26, Decals by Dillon, number 26, Ford Thunderbird. That is Kevin Dillon. Starting to the outside of row number 2, driving the number 3, Chevrolet, row 6, number 3, this is Tyler Hughes. Starting row number 3, starting in the 5th position, driver of the 53, Folger Chevrolet. It is not Tim Richmond, race fans. This is Carl Burke. Starting on the outside of row number 3, starting in the 6th position, driving the Baby Ruth, Ford Thunderbird, number 10. This is Travis Wright. Starting in the 7th position, it's the Cold Beers Camera Chevrolet all-out towing machine, the 31. That is Zach Coyer. The number 22, Busch Lattes, number 22, Chevrolet. That's the 22 of Jeff Shrewsbury. Starting from the 9th position here tonight, the 82, that is Jackie Palmer. And the carbon fiber number 1 of James Somke will round out the top 10 drivers.
In 11th place, the 44 of Mark Fravert. On his outside of row number 6 will be Christopher Reardon in the 6th. Row number 7 will be the 13 of Michael Fravert. And on his outside will be Matt Vod in the 14th starting spot. And finally, Steve Wright bringing up the tail of the field here in the 61 machine.
That is your starting lineup here tonight for the All-Pro Sim Racing League. It's the 87 Shootout Series. That's your starting lineup brought to us by Decals by Dylan. 125 laps going to be the distance, and we should drop the green flag just next time by. It's 125 laps of racing here at the Martinsville Paperclip. Race fans, I hope you're ready for the good old short track racing action. This is the only time we will see them 2 by 2 with your leaders side by side, because any restart we get after the drop of the green flag will be a single file restart all the way to the end of the, well, I believe up till 10 to go. With 10 to go, then we switch it over to a single file restart. Put the pace cars down and away, and we're getting ready to go short track racing here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. A little bumper banging, and the green flag officially is out, and we are racing at Martinsville here with the All-Pro Sim Racing League.
Already a challenge for the lead on that outside, but it is not able to hang tough. The 52 of Jeff Dillon got an excellent jump on the start, but because he was on the and we got one around, 4 cars involved.
Yeah, a handful of them down here straight away right into turn number 3, and we will go caution flag for the first time here tonight. I believe it started with Tim Richmond. Did it again. It's Carl Burke. Looked like Richmond out there onto the racetrack, but it looks like Coyer, Somke, Vade, Reardon all may be involved in this one. So we'll have to take the quick gander back here and check out on lap number 1, turn number 3, bring out the first caution flag of the night. So that'll send a lot of drivers back here on this initial restart. Watch that Folgers 53. Is that Coyer down to the inside as they were 3 wide entering turn number 3? Coyer just tags that left rear, sends the 53. He made contact with, I don't know who that was. I think that was the Somke number 1. That's what turned him around and got those two drivers wrapped up in this one. We're take it back and watch. Let's ride on board here with the number 1 of Somke. A tough, hard hit for the driver of that number 1 as we went on board there with the neck camera. So Somke going to have a ton of damage on that number 1, but I don't think it's a night ender, but the rear end definitely shortened up and reared on having some issues when he came back on because there is that curbing down there. We didn't even talk about the curbing here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway.
No, that curb will shoot your car up to, well, up towards the wall if you're not careful. But you can, at times, use it as well on corner exit to, well, kind of help you out from time to time. I don't know about in these. I haven't done it in these.
Yeah, these cars are a little bit weird on the setup sometimes, KR. I don't know. You're a micro sprint driver out there in the Midwest, and you really like to hang it out on the right rear. That's exactly how these cars are when you come out of the corner. The car seems to really want to continue on and carry on before it unloads itself, I should say. It seems like it always just wants to go left, and then all of a sudden they snap back right. But that curbing down there, if you take a look at the way especially those Chevrolets are set up, you can really see those splitters are really down low on the left-hand side. So I'm not sure how close these drivers are really going to be able to dig into the corner here tonight and get up against that curbing, because with those splitters so low, that could really shoot you back up the track and then have bad things happen.
Yeah, bad things can happen very quickly here, and you run out of room very fast as we saw these 5 cars get involved. But, man, Roger, here we go. Green flag out once again. And the 33 going to get a good jump. David Pullins out in front here, but the 26 of Kevin Dillon on his back bumper.
Yeah, behind him, they got also Jeff Dillon and Hughes that are running side by side currently down the back straightaway. They will single file it out. Dillon will hold on to that 5th position, but I believe I heard some contact back there. Looks like everybody's able to keep it straight and pointed in the right direction. And oh, Travis Wright and Palmer are going to make the dive down to the inside. I believe that was Shrewsbury that kind of opened up that door, and they kind of muscled their way through. Here comes the 44 Favret down to the inside. Now he'll throw the Rust-Oleum machine down to the inside. That Baby Ruth car right now with Travis Wright and that Ford Thunderbird Power headed backwards.
The battle at the front continues to stay the same. The 26 of Kevin Dillon not letting the 33 of Pullins get away from him. They do have a bit of a gap back to Jeff Dillon, who's trying to catch up and make it a 3-car battle. But Hughes on the back bumper of Dillon might have something to say about Jeff holding on to that 3rd spot.
Yeah, look how close that Kevin Dillon is actually down there on that, almost the curbing that we just talked about. He is able to roll the center a little bit better than Pullins right now. But the problem is, Pullins kind of just the roadblock in the way. Right now, Kevin Dillon possibly trying to save a little bit of tire. We know Jeff Dillon back there is for sure saving tire. Now here comes Dillon down to the inside. They'll be side by side off on 2. Kevin with a little bit of sideways, too much power in that Ford.
26 makes the pass. Kevin now to the front of the field. David is going to settle in for 2nd place. Jeff Dillon and David Pullins, as you mentioned, Roger, sitting 1 and 2 in the points. Kevin Dillon now maybe looking at something to build on here. As you mentioned, just 2 races left in this season. Kevin came into tonight 5th in the points.
Yeah, he was 5th in the points right now. Oh, somebody going around. The 22 of Shrewsbury will go around coming out of turn number 4. That will put us under caution. That Busch beer machine looking like a crinkled up beer can, KR. I think that you just threw at me just a little bit ago.
Yeah, that 22 machine now does look like a wadded up soda can, if you will. But it was working his way through the corner, caught the curb, and just goes for a self-spin down on the inside.
Watch it back here. Watch him as he does enter this corner. Let's see. Yeah, he gets right down there on that curbing, and it just hooked that car left. Matt Vade almost joined him down there on that inside. He was sideways in his Haviline machine. So just a single car spin is what brings out this 2nd caution flag here. And, well, I was going to ask about it, KR, but I already see the answer. Pit road is busy.
Yeah, everyone coming down pit lane, tires, fuel, all that good stuff. These cars are going to feel a lot better after getting some tires on them.
It looks like Hughes is going to take the racing battle onto pit road, and he passes Dylan down on pit. I haven't seen that in a whole bunch of years. A couple drivers do stay out. Yeah, I'm gonna, Travis Wright, Scott Wright, they both stay out. Coyer, Somke.
Yeah, we got 4 drivers who have stayed out. So, and that's what I was focusing my attention on, Roger, getting ready to see if these guys were going to continue to stay out or maybe just come down pit road when things weren't as hectic. In fact, the one of Somke does come down pit road.
So he'll come down pit road, so that'll leave then just 3 drivers, but it does look like Burke and Palmer will be the top 2 that come out of pit road here. I believe it was just fuel only for Carl Burke, and Palmer got right side tires. The rest of those drivers, all 4 tires on their 87 stock cars here tonight. So
long pit stops.
Yeah, long pit stops. Take a look at the top, guys. That's where your timing and scoring is tonight. Brought to us by Decals by Dylan. And find where your favorite driver is running here under the second caution flag here on lap number 15. Still over 100 laps to go the distance.
So, brief mention of the long pit stops here. 22 seconds for some of these guys being in their pit stall. A minute on pit lane. And when you're looking at a lap time of around 54 to 46 seconds under yellow, that's quite a big gamble to take tires here.
Yeah, it's almost like they got the 4-way wrench out there, KR, and they're just hammering those lug nuts off one at a time. I don't really remember 1987, KR. Maybe you can fill me in, but pit road speed back in 1987. Was there a pit road speed?
I don't believe that was until, but want to say, late 80s, early 90s, to be honest.
Because remember we were talking, or I had mentioned how Tyler Hughes got around the 52 of Jeff Dillon, and he was able to hold serve then out of pit road. He is up now to the 7th. Well, I say now up, as he is down to the 7th position, but he was able to pick up 2 spots down on pit road, past Kevin Dillon and Jeff Dillon, as I believe this time by we're going to take that green flag, and it'll be Travis White. Right, leading us back to pit, or back to the start here with that Mountain Dew of Steve in the 61 back there also. Then it's Coyer. Those 3 drivers did not pit here on this caution flag, so they're restarting. No lap down cars right now to the inside, as everybody out on track is on the lead lap, and right there Travis is going to fire off that Baby Ruth machine, and he's going to let everybody in the dust.
Solid jump for Travis Wright. He is now going to pull away from Steve Wright. Steve trying to track him down. Cars starting to fan out down the backstretch. We got one digging hard, looking deep to the inside. That is a 3 machine of Tyler Hughes. He is trying to take advantage of having 4 fresh tires. He is trying to make something happen here on this restart.
Yeah, I think that all started with Jackie Palmer getting up out of the groove, out of the corner, and one of them up and out of the groove again. That's the 33 of Poland's. He was up there with the Napa machine. Those shocks just unloaded. Now it looks like Jeff Dillon going to get a little bit of a help by Vade down into the corner, and Dillon holds on, but look at Poland's. He is going straight backwards like a rock in the water. It is sinking, and it is sinking quick.
Yeah, he got up in the marbles, and he decided he was just going to stay up there, let everyone get on by, and he is going to try and gather back his car, get himself back to the front of the field, and not do it in too dangerous of a fashion there. I think he made a good move as we got the 53 trying to slice through the grass. Carl Burke able to hold on to it, but man, he was sideways through 1 and 2.
And 3 wide down into turn number 3 as that's Kevin Dillon actually down to the inside, and no more contact. The 53 sideways, the 3 there of Hughes also sideways, but we stay clean and green here. Now Vade going to go down into the corner, and he is sideways with his Ford Thunderbird.
Is this an asphalt race or a dirt race? Holy cow, these guys are throwing it sideways into the corner here. Reminds me of what I was doing last night.
Well, we don't really want to talk about what you were really doing last night, KR, but All right, yeah, we do. Congratulations, KR. You won last night.
It was a good win, but Travis Wright trying to get the win here tonight. And right now, he has got a big gap to second place, Kevin Dillon. Keep in mind, Travis Wright stayed out. He did not come down pit road. Kevin Dillon, one of those drivers who did pit.
Yeah, right now, Dillon is tearing to run down the leader. Remember, before we hit that yellow flag, Kevin Dillon was actually one of the fastest cars on the speedway here. So this time by, though, it'll be 101 laps to go here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. That Baby Ruth machine still out there digging for, well, a win here. Travis does not have a win on Sunday night, and he needs some points coming into tonight. He's down all the way into the 20th spot on the championship hunt. It's 126 points. Well, it's all the way to the top of the podium pole. And right now, Kevin Dillon, though, is saying, hey, let me knock you back down a couple more. But right now, for the first time this season here on Sunday night for the All-Pro Sim Racing League, the 87 Shootout Series, we have two Fords leading the field.
Yeah, Kevin Dillon is really laying down some very quick lap times. You can see he is closing in a hurry on Travis Wright. In fact, that last lap, Kevin Dillon was actually 3/10 faster.
Yeah, and he is already there, KR. There's no doubt about it. He is there, and he is digging. Right now, he's going to get about a car length. That's going to be half a car length off the corner. He is pretty much there. Call about a bumper. There you see the battle between the front two. They are now nose to tail. Back there, though, a little bit farther back into the field, it looks like Jeff Dillon has mowed his way through a little bit of this traffic, but look at the traffic log back here. From third on back as Kevin Dillon takes the race lead now.
Yeah, Kevin Dillon set him up down the backstretch, moved to the inside through 3 and 4, and completes the pass coming off of turn number 4. So he is now your new leader out here tonight. Travis Wright on those just about 13 lap older tires, but it is enough to make a difference here as the 26 squeezes on by.
Yeah, Steve Wright, remember, he started up on the front. They are 3 wide now back here for that 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th position. They are just throwing a haymakers, almost contact between that 61 of Wright and Vade. Vade going to go down to the inside, and he will be able to make the pass. Now that 61, I was just about to talk about how those tires were old, and he was hanging on to it, but now he has fallen all the way back to the 9th position, and look who's peeking to the inside for P number 9. There's that number 33. That is Polans, and now Polans is trying to work his way back up. He just hit the curbing. Now Vade going to go up. He's going to hit the wall on the straightaway. These boys are letting it all hang out back here.
Yeah, it is a rough and tumble time back there in this back of the pack battle, but everyone is fighting for the same piece of real estate. And when you get that kind of action here at Martinsville, it starts selling out the crowds as the 33 continues to march forward. He's now taking a look down to the inside of the black 8 Haviland machine.
Yeah, Vade going to go to the outside. He's having some handling problems on that Haviland Ford right now. He is sitting in that 7th position. Polans, though, is going to nose ahead down into the corner right behind them. That is Jeff Shrewsbury in the bush, number 22. He is lurking into the background. He had a fast 22 before he spun out. Remember, he spun from, I believe that was the 4th position here in the early going. So now he's trying to work his way back up as Polans does take away the 7th position. Now it looks like the Hughes machine going after Michael Fravert in that Hardee's 99. Remember, Michael had a good run just last week, and now Hughes is going to take over. That's the battle for the 5th position. Now we single file out here at the Martinsville Speedway under this green flag run. Hughes, though, now going to lose the grip to the inside. Michael trying to bring the Hardee's 99 back to the inside, but it does not look like he's going to be able to put the power down. Here comes Shrewsbury now around Vade.
All that going on, Kevin Dillon has opened up a 1-second gap over Travis Wright. Jeff Dillon still trying to close in on Travis Wright. So Travis solidly in 2nd place here. Jeff Dillon in 3rd with a bit of a gap back to Jackie Palmore, who's riding in 4th place and now under attack from the 3 of Tyler Hughes.
Yeah, and under attack is still Polans because Michael will not go away with his 99 Chevrolet. That machine is still sitting there in the 6th position for Polans. Favret back there into the 7th spot right now, though it looks like Carl Burke is going to go side by side The Tim Richmond Folgers entry here tonight looking like the crinkled up coffee can as Fabric gets around him. Oh, and then contact between those two back here. That almost sent that 44 up into Zach Coyer, who's running there in the 10th position. Remember, Coyer was 3rd coming into the night, as now we're going to see side-by-side back here, and those short track tempers are starting to come to the top.
I'll never forget one of the best short track tempers I ever saw was Tony Stewart chucking his helmet at Matt Kenseth at Bristol. Here in iRacing, we can't really chuck a helmet, but you can throw a keyboard.
I can chuck an emoji at you after the race on Facebook, though.
Ooh, I'm hurt.
Down to the inside, these two are still continuing to battle now, as it looks like Favorite Michael dropped back to the crinkled up Busch beer machine of Shrewsbury. They keep going back and forth. I keep seeing the timing and scoring jump. Shrewsbury gets around, and now here comes the 99 right back to the bumper, almost contact, but Favorite did not quite get to that bumper. He checked up right ahead of them, though. Jackie Palmer going to lose the position. Polans is on the march. Remember, he was back, I believe it was the 12th position after he got muscled up out of the groove, and now he has marched his way back into position number 5. So he has been from the front to the back, and now back here battling inside the top 5.
So our top 5 is really kind of spreading out just a little bit. Kevin Dillon continuing to lead, Travis Wright holding on to 2nd, Jeff Dillon 3rd, Tyler Hughes 4th. David Polans, after getting out of shape, took his time and has worked his way back into 5th place now. So he continues that hunt for the lead. Jackie Palmer in 6th, Shrewsbury right now in 7th, and Michael Frabert right now in 8th place in that 99 machine. But look out, there is a black Haviland car right behind him.
Yeah, and I don't think that black Haviland car, you know, we talked about the handling issues, but look at the front bumper. We talk about short track racing. That bumper for Matt Vade is completely used up already. Last week, we actually saw Matt take a tumble like we've never seen anybody before, especially at the Bristol Motor Speedway. That car went up over, barrel rolled it, and put it right back down on the wheels, and he drove it to pit road. But, I mean, that right front looks like they didn't even work on that car all week long at the shop. It looks like they brought the same front end. So I don't know if that's Martinsville Racing or if that's still the leftover damage from Bristol.
I'll tell you what, it could be a combination of both, because that is how your cars end up looking at the end of the night when you're at those tracks. But the 99 does have a little bit of damage to his right front as well. But the good news is, this track really not very aerodynamic dependent.
Yeah, no, and I think a lot of people that come onto the iRacing.com platform, you know, these 87 cars, they are still new. So even when we do get to Daytona or Talladega, is the draft package 100%? We don't know. We're not back in 1987. And I can tell you, even back in 1987, maybe the Ford had the advantage because it is a little bit of a sleeker machine. As you see, Vade does get around that 99. But especially here at this track, it's a half-mile track. There's no draft.
No, you're not getting up to enough speed to really have a significant draft. And proof of that being that Travis Wright, Jeff Dillon, they're all just struggling to, really catch up to Kevin Dillon.
Yeah, and right now, as we look on board here with the decals by Dillon, onboard camera watching back off the number 10 era, Travis Wright. Look back there. That is Jeff Dillon. He has marched his way back up here. Remember, though, Travis did not come down pit road. He elected to stay out there, so he is on older tires, 12-lap older tires than the rest of the field. He's continuing to hang on as you see Jeff Dillon up into the outside wall there, just a little bit of a scrape. Doesn't look like it really hurt that car at all. We just talked about it. Draft's not going to matter, so go ahead and cave those fenders in here tonight.
Get you a little bit of the Darlington stripe here at Martinsville and try and widen that track out. But I'll tell you, it ain't going to work a whole lot. You can try and knock that wall down, but it'll still stay.
Yeah, I've tried to knock down turn 4 here at Martinsville more times than not. And I can tell you, it's still standing, and I pulled the wheel from my rig and called it a career at Martinsville, that's for sure.
Yeah, Martinsville is a tricky track here on the iRacing service. A lot of cars drive very differently here And it is one track where you really do have to focus on your entry into the corner, and the rest of it kind of sorts itself out after that.
And sorting themselves out, this is Jackie Palmer. He was up out of the groove in that number 34 machine. Now he's on the curbing in turns 1 and 2. It is not a very stout handling car here for Jackie Palmer on lap number 51. He has started to head backwards as you saw Vade now get around him. Matt has worked his way up to the 7th position. He is one of the biggest movers of this race so far, up 7 spots, started 14th, almost last onto the field, and now he is running in the 7th position. The car may be a little tore up, but it is still running, and that's all you really needed to do here tonight. Last driver on the lead lap, and actually I say that, and now he's 1 lap down. James Somke just goes a lap down to the race leader of Kevin Dillon. Now he's looking to get passed by the 2nd and 3rd place drivers. That'll put Carl Burke onto the bubble. He would be the next driver to go a lap down. There you see Burke battling with that number 61. That is Steve, and, well, look at that distance. You can see it right there in that picture. They have about a straightaway length lead over the race leader, but that could go away in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, that 53 machine is really tore up from the floor up, that 53, trying to get himself ahead of Steve Wright so that Kevin Dillon may not put him a lap down, but these guys hoping for a caution here, get a little bit of time to work on the damage of their race cars.
Yeah, but even so, you talked about it before, there's not a lot of time down on pit road. I did notice, though, that Travis Wright and Jeff Dillon have started to close the gap in on Kevin Dillon out there. Now it's about, call it, 3 car lengths between the race leaders.
Yeah, that lead was at a 1.2 seconds at one point. It is now down to a half-second gap. The 26 has really started to back up to Travis Wright. Jeff Dillon has closed in on Wright as well, so we're getting ready to have a 3-car battle for the race lead.
Yeah, don't forget Hughes back there, so it'll almost be a 4-car battle. We're keeping an eye on this racing here at the front of the field. David Pullins, remember, he was way back yonder down here at Martinsville. So he's actually going to go up out of the groove. There is a lot of marbles that are up out of the groove here. You don't want to get up there because, well, that could spell disaster for you if you do get up there. Battle for the race lead, though. Kevin Dillon going to slide up out of the groove in turn 4. Travis Wright going to take back the race lead here on lap 57. He did lead at the stripe.
The 10 machine on the inside line, that is the preferred line here at Martinsville. He is going to take over the top spot. That opens the door for the 52 of Jeff Dillon as well. Jeff Dillon going to squeeze on by that 26, now starting to hemorrhage spots as here comes Tyler Hughes.
Yeah, and I just noticed also, once again, Polans was up out of the groove as your leaders run completely nose to tail around the paperclip here in Martinsville. 57 laps have been completed. We are closing in on the halfway point, and it looks like Dillon going to go up the track again. Here comes Hughes. Hughes will take over the 3rd position, and it is still a 4-car battle breakaway at the front of the field here. But nobody has been able to really just dominate tonight because we have seen Travis lead some laps. We have seen Dillon, that is Kevin Dillon, lead some laps. And remember, before that caution flag, it was David Polans out front here tonight at Martinsville. Boy, how things can change before the halfway point. Now Jeff Dillon trying to get the run on the Baby Ruth machine. He'll take the peak to the inside and turn some room. So Kenton Dillon put the power down as it looks like a little bit of a slip up in that outside groove for the number 10 there of Travis. Here comes Jeff Dillon peaking for the race lead.
Keep in mind that 10 machine has not been on pit road the entire time this race has been going on. Everyone else has pitted at one time or another. And now that the 10 has been muscled out of that bottom lane, he's going to go from the race lead down to 4th as the 26 of Kevin Dillon going to try and keep that car off of him. But man, Kevin going to try and squeeze by here as the 10 is still stuck on the outside lane.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that Jeff Shrewsbury is also down onto pit road with the number 22. He's in his pit stop or pit stall. He'll take 4 tires on that Busch Beer number 22. We did not get a fuel run here for these machines. It looks like right side tires for Shrewsbury, and he has already left his pit stall, so he'll rejoin the racing action. Somke, I did notice, is up out of the groove back here. Remember, he is 1 lap down, and he is
hard
having...
into the wall is the 26. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but he got hard into the wall. I thought maybe he was going to go up and over and try and climb the wall.
Well, if there's racing action, jump on in, and you know how that one rolls. Racing action happens pretty fast around this Martinsville paperclip, and Dylan, you do see the damage on that machine. He has dropped a spot there to Travis. Travis and him now, who were your front 2 Ford runners, they are now back to the 3rd and 4th position, and they are dropping like rocks off those Chevrolets of Dylan and Hughes. Jeff Dillon and Hughes have now opened themselves up about a 2-second gap over them, and now they are about to work into lap traffic.
The 52 creeping up on the 61. That is Steve Wright, as that Mountain Dew paint scheme about ready to go a lap down. He's going to give room to the race leaders. So it looks like he's going to go to the high side. Our leader going to go down low.
So the gentleman moved there by the driver of that 61. That will put him a lap down, though, unfortunately. Oh, big wiggle as we're on board there with Dylan as he worked himself out of turn number 4 around that lap down traffic. And while they did that, they gave up about a half second. Here comes Wright and Dylan again. But now the battle for the race lead here as Hughes is going to get around that 52. And it looked like Jeff Dillon just kind of moved over there, KR. He didn't want to battle going into the corner.
No, you lose time battling like that. And the 52 decided that the 3 was clearly the faster car right now. And then it would save them both some time if he'd just let him on by.
Travis Wright does look like he is closed in about a second from that time that we were talking about. Maybe he just had some junk on his tires, which put that 10 Baby Ruth machine back a little bit into the field. Now he has caught back up to the race leaders here, and we'll see if he can march his way back forward. Zach Coyer in the cold beer cameras machine, if I can get the words out of the mouth correctly here tonight. Coyer is back here running into the 9th spot. He did come in 3rd in that championship hunt, remember. Right now, if the night was to end the way it is, he would be losing ground to those championship 2. And with only 1 race left in the season, that's not what you want to have. But I think your leaders are in heavy, heavy traffic. It looks like there's a bunch of drivers up here. Here comes the 22. That's Jeff Shrewsbury. If I remember right, Shrewsbury is just 1 lap down, but he's on fresh tires, and he is cutting through the field.
Yeah, he is 1 lap down. He did stop, had an extended time in pit lane, taking right side tires, and he is using those right side tires to his advantage. That 22 machine now trying to squeeze by another set of cars.
Yeah, he'll get by the 10 there of Travis. Now he'll look to get to the inside here on Jeff Dillon. He will do that. The next car for him will be the number 3. That is Tyler Hughes, and then that would put him back onto the lead lap as we have already completed lap 70. We are halfway home in this one here tonight at Martinsville.
That we are. This race winding down at this time. The 22 does get back on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap. Tyler Hughes just watches him go on by that black and chrome 3 machine. Now sets his sights on just logging his laps and hitting his marks.
Yeah, and that was actually pretty big there for the 22 of Shrewsbury to get around Hughes, our leader here tonight. Because remember, it's the old 87 rules as you see the 44. Now, wheel hop down into the corner. He goes way high. But Shrewsbury now does not have to line up to the inside if there was a caution flag. He would be able to line up at the tail end of the longest line and get fresh tires and then fire back off in this Busch machine once again, because you don't want to fight down to the inside and hope that a caution comes out. There's no lucky dog in 1987.
No, there is no lucky dog in 1987. He has done everything he needs to do to get back on that lead lap and keep his chances of winning this race up there, but he's still got a long way to go. Not only that, but we might see these drivers hit pit lane, and once they come down pit road, they are going to have a fresher set of tires, and everything's going to kind of maybe equal out.
Yeah, I'm watching the 44 here of Mark Favret. That 44 machine looks like there's some right front damage. It looks like he's putting a ton of wheel into this 44 to try and get it to turn. I think it's safe to say that either there's a bunch of rubber built up on that right front or the tire is completely gone. It looks like. Is he going to be coming down pit road, or he was just snapped loose on that? Here he comes. Mark Favret will actually bring the 44 to pit road here on lap 75.
The 44 Levi Garrett machine is going to come down pit road. He felt that tire had given up on him, and so he makes his way to his pit crew. He is going to give up a lot of time for that, but man, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and get those fresh tires.
Shrewsbury, remember we talked about him. He did that. That man is still on the move. He got around Zach Coyer. He got around Carl Burke. And he is continuing to lay down some fast times. Last time by for the driver of this 22 was a 22.53 second. Your race leader of Hughes, it was a 23 flat last time by. So there's the difference in two tires compared to those old ones that Hughes changed on lap number 13 tonight.
Yeah, Shrewsbury making his second start of the season here. This 22 could maybe mix it up a little bit in these point standings and really give everyone else a run for their money.
Yeah, Shrewsbury coming in, I believe it was just last week at Bristol, and he finished himself into the second position. Led 41 laps last week at Bristol, so you know the driver has some speed to compete with the likes of Hughes and Dillon and Polans and Palmer and Coyer. Those drivers are fast week in and week out, and they always seem to find themselves towards the front. And Shrewsbury last week said, here's my cards. I would like to play with the big boys, and he played a little bit different strategy. Oh, as Jackie Palmer up into the outside wall with that number 82 machine once again. Palmer not having a good night, as now Shrewsbury will power just straight on by him.
Yeah, the 22 gets on by the black and gold machine, and Jeff now back in the 8th spot. He's continuing to make his way forward. Mark Favret, though, looks like his night is done. He is headed to his race car hauler.
That's unfortunate. As we check back up here on the leaders, there you see Hughes is still out front. Dillon and Travis Wright, though, are still right here battling for that second. And no, Jeff Dillon sideways. That's going to open up the door. Here comes the Thunderbird thundering on the outside. Travis will take back that second position, but Dillon almost had a championship nightmare right there out of turn 4.
Yeah, Jeff Dillon, fresh off his win at Bristol last week, now finding himself in 3rd place here at Martinsville. But a good save, keeping that car clean. Man, he's got to get up on the wheel here and figure out how to get back around this 10 machine of Travis Wright.
Yeah, last week, Jeff Dillon winning at the Bristol Motor Speedway, even though he said he didn't deserve that win. He thought he was at best a 3rd place machine, but coming out of turn 4, the floodgates opened up, and he actually ended up being the winner as James Somke is down on pit road. So Jeff Dillon was the winner just last week. It was Dillon, Shrewsbury, and Polans. Polans and Shrewsbury made that contact in the final corners. Shrewsbury lifted, Polans was sideways, and Dillon just kind of scooted on by. You know, if the door is open, why not come in? Why let the door open and just let somebody else in?
Absolutely, and you got to take them any way you can. Wins are hard to come by at any level of racing, and so when the racing gods smile upon you and part the Red Seas, just say thank you and go ahead and take that trophy.
So let's take a peek back. Where's Polans? There is Polans, but he's got somebody knocking on his back door, and Polans is actually sideways off of turn 4. That seems to be the trouble spot. A lot of drivers, though, looks like they are coming down pit road. Carl Burke is down pit road. The 99 of Michael Favret, he is down pit road. Somke is still on pit road. I'm not sure if there was, I don't know if there was a penalty for James Somke or what, but the number 1 is still continuing to sit there on pit road and see if any of these other drivers elect to come down, because Shrewsbury is cutting up the field still. He has got around Palmer, remember, and now it looks like he's about a little over 7 seconds behind David Polans that we just talked about. So we'll see if he's actually able to run down Polans or if those new tires have given up yet.
Yeah, Shrewsbury led 41 laps last week at Bristol. He has not led here tonight, but those tires, he was one of the first ones to come down pit road, got right side tires, and has been able to make his way forward because of that. And we have seen other cars hit pit lane because of that. Steve Wright on pit road, Carl Burke, Michael Frabert, they all coming down pit lane.
Yeah, they all came down pit road, but somebody who has been down on pit road, but that was on lap number 13, who's having himself a good drive, and that's Matt Vade. He is out there. That was a wheel hop situation. Remember we talked about this damaged Haviland machine? He has worked himself up 9 positions. He now runs in position number 5, right behind Kevin Dillon, who they almost made that contact. And right now, if I'm looking at it right, this would be the best finish of the season if the race were to end now. But guess what? It's not going to. Still over 30 laps to go in this one. Matt running in the 5th position. He has not been able to kind of secure himself a top 10 run all season long. It's been a 13th place finish at Bristol, and 11th at North Wilkesboro, and a 21st place finish back at Daytona to start the season. So I guess you can pretty much say it's been a rough road to hoe here for the driver of the number 8, and tonight he's having himself one whale of a run as he's looking to the inside here. Now to the inside of that 26 into turn 3, and he'll complete the pass for 4th.
Kevin Dillon got to be thinking about hitting pit road. He has fallen from the race lead all the way down to 5th place now. He has watched cars pass him with ease. The damage on that right side maybe has even knocked the handling off of this thing. When I say he hit that wall a ton several laps ago, he hit it hard and has been falling back ever since.
Yeah, but at what point here tonight, KR, is coming to pit road too late? Yes, we saw Shrewsbury do that, but we saw him do that right before the halfway point of this race, and he only put 2 tires on. Since he was able to get himself to that 7th position, he hasn't been able to make up any ground on those top 6 drivers. He's just kind of stuck in limbo now, and Kevin Dillon, if he does that, he's going to have a lot of ground to make up with closing in on, call it 30 laps to go.
You do have a good point there, closing in on the end of the race here. Absolutely, probably at this point should stay out, try and ride it out, but if you get a caution flag, man, you have got to hit pit road and work on that 26 machine. But you're right, Jeff Shrewsbury, who took right side tires, he has been working his way through the field, but here in these last few laps, his lap times are now equal to everyone else that's in front of him.
Yeah, go ahead and show you that. There you see that's not correct on the screen. We're not going to talk about that. I was going to say when Shrewsbury was down on pit road versus when Poland's was, but here comes that 61. Remember, Steve did come down pit road, and looking at it, he actually has 4 fresh tires on this 61, so we're going to keep a close eye on this Mountain Dew Chevrolet. Problem being, he is multiple laps down to the race leaders now with him spending that much time on pit road. We'll see how far he can climb back up into the battle here tonight. KR, take a peek to the outsides of turns 1, 2, and 3. That is a ton of marbles up there. This track is getting covered in them. It looks like it's just about a 1-lane track here as Hughes continues to chew through the field.
Yeah, Martinsville has always been a 1-lane track. Being down on that bottom lane, protecting yourself between you and the curb, not letting a car down on your inside has always been the way to go around here. The outside, that's the only place you can pass somebody who's damaged, wounded, or just a whole heck of a lot slower, and they're not giving up the bottom lane.
Talk about a whole heck of a lot slower. Well, right now, Travis Wright is actually a lot faster than Tyler Hughes. That's time by at the line. We're checking again this time by, but that Baby Ruth machine is starting to come right now towards the leader as we're going to get just 26 laps to go this time by. Do you think Travis had saved anything, and can he make it the rest of the way?
I think Travis is going to be able to make it the rest of the way at this point. He is the only driver who has not come down pit road here tonight. And to be in second place just goes to show you that tires have a little bit of longevity to them. And you mentioned a fuel run. I did a quick check, and these guys were able to have a full tank of fuel, 100% here tonight, and so they will be able to go to the end of this thing.
It's going to be crazy to see what the tires are reading after this one, as a couple of these drivers are trying to work their way around Jackie Palmer. There you see the one of Somke. He was down on pit road. He is sitting there in the 13th position, multiple laps down. Then you see that's the 26th there of Kevin Dillon, as he's going to get the bumper, as there comes Steve Wright. He's going to go down to the inside. Remember, 4 fresh tires for that Mountain Dew 61 here, so he is in a hurry. And there's not a lot of time to get where he needs to go.
No, he is multiple laps down that 61 machine, and Kevin Dillon in that 26 has got to be feeling the frustration as seeing these lap down cars try and muscle their way by him, as he is holding on to 5th place right now. Not only that, but keep in mind that car's not been the same since he hit the wall, so he's going to be irritated about that as well.
Yeah, but what are you going to do if you're Kevin Dillon right now? Everybody's starting to pull away from you. You're on these older tires. It's a one-lane track. I mean, at what point is playing the blocker really worth just giving up that position to the lap-down car? Because you're not really losing anything but maybe some ground, but you're already losing ground to those race leaders. And David Polans, he's really not starting to reel you in at all, because he's having to do the same thing just about, 3 seconds behind him.
Yeah, David Polans, who's having to work his way through the same situation, has got to be keeping an eye on his rear view mirror. Jeff Shrewsbury still able to gain ground on him little by little, but we are getting close now as we have 20 laps to go, I think.
Yeah, next time by, it will be just 20 laps to go here at Martinsville for the second to final race of the season, and Hughes is our race leader. He has not been able to pick up a win this season. He has only finished once on the podium, and that was at another little short track. That was at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, where he was able to lead 36 laps of that race. Hughes, every race Hughes has entered this year, he has been able to lead at least 5 laps in every race. His average right now of laps led per event entered, 29 laps. So if he was able to go the rest of the way here tonight, that would exceed the average, as they are slicing and dicing back here. That 61 is coming in a hurry, and he's got places to go, as Matt Vade has got around the 52 of Jeff Dillon.
Yeah, Steve Wright in the 61 is in a race with the 53 of Carl Burke. And Carl Burke right now finds himself trying to track down the 61. So they are still racing amongst each other. They have fresher tires than our leaders, so they are trying to be careful and respectful to the leaders, but they have their own race to run right now.
Yeah, and with those two getting around the second place runner, that puts second and third nose to tail, and look who is sitting there in third. I don't know how he's able to wheel and deal this machine. I don't know how Travis Wright is actually able to hold on to this, but these two Thunderbirds will thunder down into turn 3 side by side. Who will come out of it? Oh, Vade going to go down. He's going to hit the curb, and he's going to hang on to that machine. Holy cow. And Somke's right there, too.
Yeah, Somke, who has made a pit stop and got those fresher tires. He's looking for an opening, as the 8 is going to squeeze on by new second place runner Matt Vade, as he's got 15 laps to try and work his way to Tyler Hughes and take over the top spot.
Yeah, I just noticed that Somke was battling there with the 10 of Travis, and all of a sudden you saw Somke move directly down to the bottom and out of the way. I think the reason he did that, it was the gentleman's move there. Somke, yes, has the fresher tires, but no, he is not in the battle for position. Multiple 6-7 laps down to the race leaders. There's actually, a little contact there from the 99 of Michael Favret to the back of the Somke machine, but Somke just kind of pulling himself out of that battle. There was no need for him to try and run them that way, so he just kind of moves over and allows those race leaders to go at it.
Our race leader Tyler Hughes making his way across the line. We're going to have 13 laps to go this time. Laps are getting short here. Again, Tyler, hold on. He does have a 4.7 second lead over Matt Vade.
Oh, but look at this. Here comes the 99 of Favorite down to the inside. He gets around Dylan. That's Jeff Dillon. And Jeff actually was way up out of the groove into the marbles, and now he's trying to get back down to the bottom. Here comes Travis in that Ford. Not going to be able to stick the nose there to get around him. So now Jeff Dillon going to get into third, and that right there is going to have a bunch of championship points written all over that pass because, well, David Poland's still buried back in traffic into that 7th position, and the laps are winding down. Oh, as Kevin Dillon sideways off of turn 2, big time in that decals by Dillon, number 26. He'll hang on to it, but he's back there in 5th as he's actually started to be able to run these guys back down, but I think the clock is going to tick down before the 26 of Kevin Dillon is able to get there.
Yeah, keep in mind our top 2 in the points coming into this race. Jeff Dillon, David Poland's tied at 157 points, and with right now Jeff Dillon in 3rd spot, David Poland's all the way down in the 7th. Jeff Dillon wants to try and open up this gap as he's just got one more race plus a handful of laps here to seal up this championship.
Yeah, and you talk about Poland's, and Poland's is having some major handling issues as now he's actually going to go down a lap to the race leader. Sopke pulling it back down onto pit road. But Poland's, oh boy, I don't know if something is broke on that car because I have not seen him hit a corner in about the last 6 corners. I mean, everything,
and
that
he is
car
pulling
is
on the pit road.
And just 9 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he feels like he's cut a tire or something, but he is on pit road, and that is huge for the 33 machine.
Yeah, because there goes the 99 of Michael Favorite. That's going to drop Poland's back to 8th. Where is Coyer? Coyer's coming around here. He's actually going to pass the 33 here as Coyer now will take over the 8th position. And that's a championship points right there for Coyer. Coyer needs the 33. Oh, and now even bigger mistake. Poland's actually blew through his pit box and almost exited pit road. As he came in, he had quick time here tonight, but there goes your race leader again of Hughes. Hughes going to put him down now 2 laps down to the rest of the field.
Yeah, Poland's, his night has gone horribly wrong here at the end of this race, but Tyler Hughes in this 3 machine is looking to finish this thing out and pick up his first win of the season. And man, he is hoping that this thing just stays green as he has now built that lead to 5.5 seconds.
Yeah, 5.5 over Vade, and then it's Dillon, Jeff Dillon sitting there in 3rd. Travis Wright is back there into the 4th position. Shrewsbury is running 5th. So, maybe Shrewsbury's strategy that he played was exactly what he needed, and he played it at the perfect time. It's just he may be able to get up here to the 10 of Travis, but I don't know if he's going to be able to gain any more positions. Maybe just strategy went, maybe call it, 5 laps too late.
Well, we'll see how this all plays out as these laps are really getting short. The 10 machine of Travis Wright, the 22 of Shrewsbury, as Shrewsbury going to go to the inside and move him up into 4th place. And man, you got to think when he came down pit road to take those right side tires, he's going to end up with a net gain overall because I think he was in 6th place when he made that decision.
Yeah, remember he was up inside the top 5, took that little bit of a spin, and he had to drop to the back. But man, what about this guy up front? He's going to see the popsicle sticks this time by in the air. Tyler Hughes going to get 2 more laps to go in this row 6 Chevrolet. Tonight's race, Tyler Hughes has just dominated since that halfway point, leading more laps tonight than he has led all season here with the All-Pro Sim Racing League. All he needs to do is come back around here and take the white flag, and, well, turn 3 in the books, turn 4 in the books. It's the final lap here tonight for the number 3 of Hughes as we get 1 lap to go at Martinsville.
The 3 machine just has a half mile to seal the deal as he makes a good exit off at turn number 2 down the backstretch for the final time. Roger, I think he's going to try and bring this one home.
Yeah, 3 for the final time. Now turn 4 for the final time. Here comes the row 6 Chevrolet of Tyler Hughes. He will pick up his first win of the season. Hughes going to win tonight here at Martinsville. Look at 2nd place, though. There was the battle. Dillon going to spin the 52 out. Matt Vade is going to come across the line in 2nd. Jeff Dillon trying to pick it up the Oh boy, he's trying to back it up to get that 52 refired. Shrewsbury does squeak through. Kevin Dillon gonna squeak through. Now Jeff Dillon gonna come across the line in the 5th position. And oh boy, that had a championship marks written on it. But Hughes is gonna be the winner here tonight at the Martinsville Speedway. He'll burn it down on the front straightaway, and as he burns it down, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna see if we can get a word in with a couple of these drivers here at the end of this one. See if we can catch a couple of them. Some of these drivers, KR, sometimes you can't quite get a hold of all of them because they just go, they like to go out and celebrate right away.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're step away for a moment here, race fans, and we'll be right back here with your All-Pro Sim Racing League 87 Shootout Series tonight, presented by Decals by Dillon. Welcome back here, race fans, to the Martinsville Speedway. After 125 laps, it is officially in the books here. That's going to leave us with just one race after this, but let's talk about this one before we jump into things here tonight. Tyler Hughes is able to pick up the win right now. We don't have a communication lineup set up with Tyler Hughes, but I do have sitting here alongside us, it looks like Matt. Where the heck, it's the question that we were talking about all through this race, where the heck did you come from here tonight?
I was pretty deep there, just kind of riding around trying to figure this car out. I've really struggled with how close to the wall you can get with this car. I don't know if you've noticed that the last couple weeks, but that and just trying to, the balance from left front to right rear in these cars seems to be really dramatic, and I had just a hard time picking that up. So tonight I kind of just rode around, and I really like these long green flag runs. Played into my favor that I got a chance to actually just get laps in, and pretty soon I'm like 7th, and I can see the top 5 kind of all sit up there battling. I'm like, oh man, they're not really that far out there. So pretty soon I was 5th, and I could see Kevin, and I really like beating Kevin because he beats us every week. So that was a little motivation. But yeah, just the long green flag run I think really helped me figure this car out tonight, which could be dangerous.
Yeah, but I mean, talk us through this, because it wasn't an easy night for you. Martinsville is not an easy track by any means. It doesn't matter what car you're in. You could run around in a Legends car, and I think I'd still struggle at this track. But tell us how you were able to manhandle this Ford Thunderbird through the field. You talked about how you backed off a little bit to get the handle on it, but it's not just that easy. You're out there with 14 other very strong competitors.
Yeah, I think when I was out there kind of just pedaling around, I figured out that the thing really is bogged down a lot if you drive it in too far, and you got to kind of pick up the throttle a lot earlier than you would expect. Even the car doesn't even feel like it's turned yet. But I think kind of just riding around back there helped me figure that out. And I don't know that I have the speed on fresh tires that these guys have. They're pretty much unbeatable on fresh tires, but it seemed like it worked on old tires anyway.
Yeah, well, tonight's going to be a great points night. We know you missed a little bit throughout the season here, but if you're points racing, it looks great on paper. If you're looking at just stats-wise, it looks great on paper because it's a podium finish for you. But now tell us about just next week. We head to the season finale. We're going to head to the Watkins Glen International. And I don't know if you looked at the schedule, but I can tell you there's no bus stop over there. So how familiar are you at Watkins Glen, and especially if you are, without that bus stop out back?
Actually, we ran a little bit of practice today, kind of the first real laps that I was able to make without that bus stop. It's a little weird going straight there, but the braking point coming out of there is kind of the same. You just got to back it up a little farther because you're going faster. It's kind of blind too because you're going so fast over that hill, but I think next week's going to be a matter of who can stay on course, because I know a lot of our guys don't really race road courses very often. And the more practice that we can get this week, the better.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one just next week at Watkins Glen. But Matt, before we let you go, who do you got to thank? Are there any sponsors on this machine that help you out week in and week out?
Just got to thank the guys at All Star Sim. Those guys are good at coaching us up and getting us in the right direction as far as figuring out cars and tracks and whatnot. So Justin, Zach, and Travis, thank those guys. And Kevin and Jeff for putting on this league, this division of our league tonight. So look forward to a good night tomorrow night in Super Lake.
Well, there you heard it from the driver of the number 8 here tonight, Matt Vade. Going to come home into the second position, up 12 spots, and just going to come up one spot shy of running down Tyler Hughes to pick up his first win. Hughes, we do see him over there. We're going to get to just Tyler Hughes in just a moment, but Jeff Shrewsbury did finish the night off running in that P3. Unfortunately, KR headset malfunction issues for Jeff Shrewsbury, so we're not going to be able to get to talk to the man who's probably passed more cars here tonight than anybody.
Yeah, a solid run. 2-tire stop for him really made the difference here tonight. That 22 machine was on rails after that stop, and another good finish for that 22. Kind of leaves you wondering what could have been this season if he'd been here all season long.
Well, it looks like we have one final interview to go here tonight. It looks like the driver of the row 6, number 3, we have finally gathered up, Tyler Hughes. Tyler, congratulations on your first win here tonight in the 87 Shootout Series. How the heck did you run away and hide with this one?
Man, I don't even know. That was pretty wild. I got shuffled back there. We had a good pit stop, and we were like the second car on new tires, and just got shuffled way to the back. And I just kind of took my time, coming up through the field. Really just tried to save my tires and not really push it too hard. And then I got up to the front behind Travis and Jeff, and I kind of turned it up. I really wanted to get to the lead just to get a bonus point for leading the lap. And just started tracking down Jeff, and I got by him and started pulling away. And then I don't know. I guess I tried to save my tires and save the right rear the best I could. I was really wondering if we were going to make it to the end there, and then guys all around us were blowing tires, so I was really getting concerned. But luckily, we made it.
Yeah, that's something we don't normally see on the iRacing platform. We know the new version 7 tires were released a little while ago, and you always hear about blown tires, but you never really see it at any point where you worried towards the end of this, because the last time you were down on pit road was just once, and that was over there on lap 13.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned, but I knew some other guys that were behind me that had really beat up their stuff and that were blowing tires, so I felt that kind of gave me a little bit of confidence that I knew that I was or I did have better tires than the rest of them, and I was still able to kind of get to it out front. I mean, I felt like I was still turning pretty good lap times there at the end, so it worried me a little bit, but I wouldn't say it was super worrying. So,
well, you pick up your first win here in a little bit of maybe dramatic fashion with those tires blowing out for everybody else, but I mean, first win of the season, that's, congratulations, that's great. You always, especially against, Shrewsbury, Dillons, and Coyer, and Wright, and Polans, and Palmer. I mean, the field is stacked. You look at it from the top to the bottom, and any Sunday night, you say, yep, that guy can win here, and, tonight, it's finally you. You win it, but the celebration might be short-lived. Watkins Glen just next week.
Yeah, that one's going to be a tough one. Luckily, we had enough practice with downshifting here tonight to where we should be okay for next week. But yeah, man, I'm so happy to finally get a win on this thing. I've had, I've been fast just about every week I come in here, and there's been a lot of weeks where I've led the most laps and just seemed like I can't put a race together. Finally finished second at North Wilkesboro, and just glad I could come out here and get a win tonight. And it's a shame it's so late in the season, but I'll take it.
KR, did you just hand him your stat sheet that he remember that he finished second at North Wilkesboro?
No.
KR always sharing those notes out there. Tyler, congratulations once again, and as we do for all of our winners on the Turn 3 Racing Network, we're going to roll this red carpet out for you. We're going to hand you the mic, and I'll step back 6 feet so you don't give me the coronavirus here. And who do you got to thank on this row 6 machine?
Oh, I just gotta. I don't know who to thank. I guess the guys over at row 6 and Tyler Hughes Motorsports on the real world side, and I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight to watch this awesome race. And man, everybody in this league is super competitive, and I appreciate the Dillons for putting this on. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's a shame we're kind of towards the end of the season here, but I can't wait for the next one.
So Hughes going to pick up his first win ever, KR, right here at the Martinsville Speedway. You just heard it from him. A great run, and he's finally able to park it in victory lane.
Yeah, solid run here at Martinsville, picking up that first win of the season. Got one more race to go. Can he make it 2 in a row? Can he join these other drivers who have won 2 races this season? I don't know, but man, the spanking he put on the rod at it.
Oh, absolutely. Remember coming to the line, though, that Matt Vade was battling with Jeff Dillon? That bumped Jeff Dillon from having a possible 3rd place finish back to a 5th place finish, and well, that's going to take some points away. That cushion that he had built up over the 33 of David Polans, because Polans, well, he's going to finish in the 10th position after that blown out tire. Coyer finishes 7th. Those were the championship 3 that were coming into tonight. Well, it's going to be a pretty close battle into Watkins Glen between Jeff Dillon and David Polans. The thing is, KR, though, that's pretty much it here for Martinsville.
That is pretty much it from Martinsville. All the rubber has been laid out on the speedway. All the hot dogs are out of the concession stands, and I am all out of Busch Latte.
Well, KR, we got to thank you for jumping up here to replace Al Smith, who, Al, right now, one of our colleagues, he is out at the dirt track watching some big block modifieds up here in the Northeast, and I think he said he was hoping that Stuart Friesen was going to be able to win. He'd really like to beat Stuart Friesen.
He is going to be in his pits. He is going to be all up in that man's face if he wins.
But for everybody at the All-Pro Sim Racing League, the 87 Shootout Series, presented by Decals by Dillon, for everybody here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, we really have to thank all the racing fans that tune in here on a Sunday night to watch this Shootout Series. Come back just next week to watch the season finale and find out who is going to be able to win the All-Pro Sim Racing League 87 Shootout Series right here next Sunday night. Till next time, race fans, we can't wait to see you again.